Welcome back, boys and girls. Boy, am I glad that I made it out of that hurricane okay. But I'm all dried off, and now it's time for us to talk about the rest of today's assignments. First, go back and make sure that you draw and write about what you think it might be like to be in a hurricane. Have any of you been in a city where a hurricane has been going on nearby? Maybe you've been in one before. So I want to see all about that in your picture and your drawing. All right, well, when you're done with that, our art project for today is going to be drawing one of the 3 species of dolphins that we talked about yesterday. You can even go online and look for some step-by-step directions of how to draw a dolphin. So ask mom or dad to help you with that. All right, friends. Well, yesterday we looked at a verse that is found in the book of Ephesians 6:10. It says, "Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might." Well, it goes on in verse 11 to say, "Put on the full armor of God so that you may be able to stand firm against the schemes or tricks of the devil." We learned a song about this year, and we're going to sing it now together to help us remember what each piece of God's armor is. All right, now remember, as we sing, it's going to get a little bit faster and faster. You might want to stand up and put on all the pieces while we're doing it, okay? It goes like this. Put on the full armor of God so you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Put on the full armor of God and read Ephesians 6:11. Put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth, and the shoes of peace, the shield of faith, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Put on the full armor of God so you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Put on the full armor of God and read Ephesians 6:11. Put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth, and the shoes of peace, the shield of faith, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Put on the full armor of God so you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Put on the full armor of God and read Ephesians 6:11. Well, very good. Now that you have all the pieces of armor on, let's go back and review. The first piece that God gave us is the helmet of salvation. That's right. Next, the breastplate of righteousness. The shoes of the gospel of peace. The belt of truth. Take up your shield of faith. And then the one piece we have to fight back against the enemy is the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Very good. You can sing that song to help you remember as you label each piece of God's armor. Okay, you can pause now to fill that in and then come back and we'll take a look at our math sheet together. All right, friends, today in math, we're going to be doing some more review skills. The first skill that we're going to be reviewing is double-digit takeaway or subtraction. All right, remember, to help you, if you would like, you can draw a line right down the center between the ones and the tens. Then remember, we start with the ones. They're on the right, you know, and then we do the tens, and on we go. So let's look at this first problem. If we draw that line straight down between our tens and our ones, then we're going to subtract the ones first. 4 take away 3 equals, that's right, 1. I'm going to get my pencil and write it right here, right underneath the ones place. Then let's try the tens. 5 take away 1 equals, that's right, 4. So 54 take away 13 equals 41. All right, the trick here is to remember to start with the ones and record your answer right below the ones place. Then to subtract the tens and record your answer there. All right, If you need to pause now, you can do that. Come back when you're ready to go on to the next section. All right, boys and girls, down at the bottom, it says the first thing we're to do is to write the number that's represented. So we're going to count our 10 sticks and our 1 cubes and write the number in this box. Then we're going to make pairs out of these cubes. If all of the pairs, 1 cubes, if everybody's in a pair, then that means the number is even. Sadly, if somebody is left out without a partner, then that means the number is odd. That's right. Let's try one together. Count with me. We'll count the 10s first and then the 1s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Very good. We'll write 66 right here in the box. Now remember, when we're trying to decide if a number is even or odd, all we have to look at is the number in the ones place. Okay? So these 1 cubes are all that we need to look at. So I'm going to circle some pairs. 2, 4, 6. Does each number have a partner? It does. That means that 66 is an even number. All right, so remember when you're looking at the ones place, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 being even is just great. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 being odd is just fine. If you remember that poem, it can help you. But remember, boys and girls, if everybody in the ones place has a partner, that's even, okay? You can pause now and come back, and we'll take a look at the back. All right, boys and girls, on the back, this is one of my very favorite things that we studied this year. This is talking about fractions. Who remembers what the number 1 rule about fractions is? That's right, that it must be divided into equal parts. So let's look at these shapes up here at the top. This square and number 6, does it look like it was divided into equal parts? It does. How many equal parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the bottom of the fraction, the number 4 tells us that there are 4 equal parts. The top number of our fraction, which is called the numerator, tells us how many parts we're going to color or how many parts we get. Okay, so let's look at the directions. Color the shape to match the fraction. The fraction says 1/4. So 1 of the 4 equal parts needs to be shaded. All right, you may pause now when you're ready to go to the next section. Then I'll be waiting for you. All right, boys and girls, in the next section, it says circle the fraction that names the blue part. So let's look at this first circle. This first circle has how many blue parts? 1, 2, and 3. So our top number or numerator is going to be a 3. But how many parts does it have in all? It has 3 blues plus this 1 white, which makes 4 parts in all, which is our bottom number or denominator. So 3 out of 4 parts is blue. So which fraction is correct? 2 out of 3 parts or 3 out of 4 parts or 3/4? That's right. 3 out of 4 parts are blue. 3/4. You can pause now and try the other shapes by yourself. All right, boys and girls, down here at the bottom, the directions say, circle the fraction that names the blue part of the set. All right, so let's look at these buckets first. There's 1 blue, and how many buckets are there in all? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 out of 4 buckets is blue. So which fraction do we need? 1/4 or 1/2? That's right, 1/4. 1 out of 4 buckets is blue. All right, you can try the rest of this on your own. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see your pictures of the hurricane and the dolphin, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, boys and girls.